Sorry.
Quick question before you continue. Didn't want to ask it before the whole thing broke down again. But case vowels. So you listed like Arabic as well as some Canaanite languages, right? For case vowels as well as Akkadian.
Yeah.
Ugaritic also has case vowels, I think.
Right. Yeah. Ugaritic, definitely.
Any other languages, or is it just
So we
Central
think also Sabaic.
Sabaic is also Central Semitic, right?
Yeah. Outside, no, modern South Arabian has none. So Ethio-Semitic has only Ge'ez has cases, and it only has the accusative case. So the nominative and genitive are not distinguished. But this comes from a regular sound rule that merges E and U, short E and U.
Ah, okay.
So yeah. But that's a good question. Yeah, you're right. But definitely we can reconstruct this for Proto-Semitic, and there have been
Yeah.
So the gemination of the third radical, I don't know. Well, this exists in Akkadian, but I guess mostly in nouns, and usually these are dubbed as nouns that come from Sumerian or some other language. And I don't know about other languages that do this regularly, but Hebrew has a very, very similar form. But anyway, in Arabic, both of these stems are used for mostly changing color and acquiring a disability, which is something you need two separate stems for, apparently. Both for both, by the way, not each for each. And in Hebrew, you have a similar pattern for colors as well, which we see in forms such as modern Hebrew, tzahov, tzehuba. So the vowel changes, and this consonant was historically geminated and therefore not spirantized. And this is the regular pattern for colors, and it also exists for some other adjectives in Hebrew. So it's very interesting the way it must be connected somehow to these verbal stems, not nominal patterns. I don't know. Any question? Okay. Here's listing some stuff that only Arabic has. The forbidden from inflection, al-mamnu' min as-sarf, as the grammarians call them. So this is a group of nouns, usually with long nouns, but sometimes also proper nouns that have only a diptotic declension, so only two cases instead of three. Only when they're indefinite. So when they're definite, they can have all three cases, but only when they're indefinite, they can only have two cases. It's a very complicated system, and no other language has anything like this. Ugaritic has a few words that appear to have something similar, but not nearly as complicated as Arabic. Arabic has Inna and her sisters, which is a group of conjunctions that start a sentence in which the subject is in accusative, which I don't know from any other Semitic language. But it's something like hineni or something like that in Hebrew, but not really. Kana and her sisters, which are auxiliary verbs and also verbs that change the time, like temporal verbs and stuff like that, that also require an accusative. So if I want to say I was rich, in Akkadian, I guess you would do that with a nominative for the word for rich, but in Arabic, or with a predicate like absolute, but in Arabic you would use the accusative. So kuntu ghaniyan. Removal from the crowd, or istithna. So that's okay. This is really, really complicated, but in Arabic there's this particle illa, which is a particle that cancels or removes something from a group or some. So I can say no one came except Zaid. Everyone came except Zaid. And I would.
Sorry about the same problem with your voice again. We can't hear you well.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Now you can hear me well?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry. How long was it back? Should I repeat any more than the istithna? Um, so so if I say the two sentences, everyone came except Zaid and no one came except Zaid, the case of the proper noun Zaid or of any other noun or adjective I would put there would be different because the rules for removal from the crowd are really, really complicated in Arabic and they depend on a lot of different factors. Um, Arabic has quantitative meter and meter that includes long and short syllables. I don't think any other Semitic language has anything like that, which is interesting. Um, Arabic has perfect stress rules, which we don't really know from any other Semitic languages either. TD and GT are separate, so they're not in any way well, I guess that Arabic is the only language that regularly, but Arabic and also Old South Arabian that regularly have GT with the infix and a TD with the prefix. But also maybe Ugaritic. I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, what do you mean by perfect stress rules? Does that mean it's perfectly predictable?
Yes, stress is totally
Okay.
predictable in Arabic. In
Okay.
yeah, in modern standard Arabic, but also usually in most spoken Arabic dialects, as far as I know.
Cool.
Arabic has many infinitives and infinitive patterns and many broken plural patterns and other nominal patterns that many of them are not shared with any other Semitic language. And the comparative and the elative, well, maybe these forms are somewhat to be found in other Semitic languages, but none of them have the strict rules that Arabic has. And there are many other like these phenomena. So min al bayan and many other phenomena, syntactic and lexical phenomena that only Arabic displays. It's kind of like Arabic made a whole grammar out of stuff that other languages just don't have. And also the al definite article, which is nice and assimilates to coronal consonants after it. Any question so far? Um,
Can you give examples about the quantitative meter? I didn't catch
yeah,
that.
I meant well, I meant the poetic meter. So in
Oh,
Arabic,
okay.
yeah, so you can write poems in meter, which is yeah, weird, different from other.
أوزان الشعر.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so Aramaic is special to have this suffixed aleph definite article. No one really knows if it comes from a consonantal aleph or not. It became an absolute marker in Eastern Aramaic. So from some point onwards, in most Neo-Eastern Aramaic dialects, there is no definite article anymore. And the default form of a word, of a noun, is with the historical definite article. I hope that was clear. There's no end stem, as I've already mentioned. There are these reflexive duos, which are nice. And Aramaic lost the laterals and the interdentals in a kind of special way, I guess, that differs them from other languages. But nothing really further than that. I guess the best thing to know about Aramaic is always that it's really divergent from itself. So it's very heterogeneous. And Eastern Aramaic and Western Aramaic have very different areal features. So it's always very difficult to speak about Aramaic in general. And just mentioning a few words about Canaanite.
Mosaic is considered Aramaic, right?
Mandaic, yeah, Mandaic, classical Mandaic and modern Mandaic. Yeah, that's also Eastern Aramaic, yeah, at the far edge of the East. Yep. And Canaanite Hebrew, we have the ha definite article. In Hebrew, it comes with gemination of the following consonant, which is interesting. We have the et for the definite accusative, which, as we've seen, something like this appears in other languages, but not exactly this. The closest is in Phoenician, iyat, and also et. We have the plural marker im, except Moabite that has in, which is this, of course. This is, of course, a frozen form of the oblique plural. In Hebrew, there became new e and o phonemes, and following that, in Tiberian Hebrew, new a and a phonemes as well. So the whole vocalic system became much, much more complicated and rich, kind of like modern South Arabian. In Tiberian Hebrew, also there are many, many rules regarding the quality of epenthetic vowels, not just in Tiberian Hebrew, but more than everything else in Tiberian Hebrew. So both the Khataf and the Shwa have really, really, really intensely complicated rules regarding their quality in realization. The very imperfect system has the stem system has G, D, T, D, H, and N. So H like the C and N, and there's also a passive H and a passive D. So we have both a passive D and a reflexive D, which is nice. And so I said about geminate roots that they have very, very difficult and complicated inflections in verbal forms, a lot like modern South Arabian. Any question? Also, Canaanite has T for the third feminine plural, like modern South Arabian. In some Canaanite dialects, like Ugaritic and Amarna Canaanite, it's also for the third masculine plural, not just the third feminine plural, which is interesting. Yeah.
A question on geminate roots, because
Yeah.
I really don't understand like why they even deserve such complicated rules. Because I understand with like weak roots in general, because the consonants that make trouble. But like I feel like geminate rules you could just treat them like normal rules, and there wouldn't be any roots, and there wouldn't be any trouble. So are these weird patterns, like I think polel and stuff, right? Are these projected to be older than like the simple stuff you find in other languages, or are they new innovations?
It's very, very difficult to determine. Very, very difficult. There is a theory about this by Julien Dufour. He refers to these roots as anisomorphic in the sense that they do not fit the stem that they're in. So you take a 2 radical root and put it in a 3 radical stem, or a 3 radical root and put it in a 4 radical stem. And that's how these geminate roots were born, which is very, very interesting. I don't know. And you're absolutely right. The thing is, uh, contrary to what you said, like other than what we would expect, the weak roots, like the ones that have the glides, are much easier, or usually much easier to predict what happens with them in the different languages. While the geminate roots, yeah, there's not only not a motivation, but we just have no idea what's going on there. Yeah, I don't know. But it's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if it's something older. I guess not, probably, if it doesn't exist in Akkadian, but
Yeah, I mean, I guess Akkadian could have simplified it too.
that's
But
also a possibility. That's always a possibility. Yeah, I wish they knew about Eblaid more. Maybe I should check that. Any other
I'm
question?
sorry, just a remark. You have
Yeah,
said that you said that you can't assume that it is an older because we can't find it in Akkadian. A lot of Arabic grammar is not found in Akkadian. That
I
it is actually
agree.
an invention of Arabic.
I don't know. It's very, very hard to say, but I think a lot must be. I think all of the, or many of the things that cannot be found in any other language, like what I said about the istithna, that's just so complicated. Why? I don't know. I don't know why would Arabic invent this, but I don't know why any other language did not inherited this. I have no idea, genuinely.
Okay.
But thank you. Yeah, sorry. Any other question?
To me, Akkadian feels relatively tidy among the Semitic languages, but I'm not sure what that means for that question, like how innovative or old, like old-fashioned Akkadian is.
Very hard to say, but probably old-fashioned, at least in most aspects. But it also innovated many things. That's for sure as well. I don't know. Very hard to say. Any other question or remark or anything? Well, thank you very much, and thank you, Jonathan, once again. And have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.